chairman right now of the Greenwood County Parks Commission. And I stood up so quickly, I wanted to get up here first because I think I can outline some issues for a lot of people here who are in opposition to this rezoning request. And I think I might be able to save a little bit of time in outlining these. And I'm sure there's some other people who will get up and may want to add some other points. But there are many reasons not to have commercial development on this property. And first that comes to mind is there's a legal reason, because this property was taken from a citizen of this county and the city against her will. And the city of Greenwood said, we have to have this land because it is such an important natural resource for this county. There's an artesian well there, and we need that artesian well. We're going to take it against her will. And this woman, Bellio, said, vehemently opposed it. She went to the Supreme Court with it. The Supreme Court says, well, they have a public interest in taking this property, and they allowed it to be taken. In fact, she wouldn't even take the money that they paid her and awarded her in that condemnation act. But it was taken by eminent domain. It was named and it was labeled a natural resource. And it was intended for public use. And now the CPW wants to make money on it. They don't want to use it for public use anymore. They want it to be commercial development. And under this designation, it could be the most obnoxious type of commercial development to the neighborhood in this area. But the legislature has spoken on this, and there's yet to be a legal case on it. The legislature says you cannot take a property and say it's going to be taken for public use and then do something commercial with it. And whether that goes retroactive or not, the legislature has spoken on that because something like this has happened in another state and they didn't want it to happen here. But there is a very good legal reason. There's a fairness issue because 3 CPW commissioners who were duly elected voted to donate this property for a park. This happened several years ago. Now CPW commissioners have reneged on that offer after the counties agreed to take it for a park. And this has been done by 2 commissioners who were elected with a swing vote by a commissioner who has not been publicly elected. The commissioner he replaced ran on the platform of making this a park. She was elected, and she voted to do that. And they voted to renege on this after a lot of volunteers have put forth efforts to promote and produce this park. There's a feasibility issue, because if anyone drives by this property, they know it's a floodplain. And they know to do commercial development here, there's going to have to be either forest mowed down, hillsides dragged down there, dirt brought in, and there will have to be some hole dug, a deep, unsightly hole dug, to actually put commercial development on this property. There's an economic reason, because anyone who rides down our bypass or rides through our town knows that we have plenty of property for commercial development. We have a lot of commercial space that has been abandoned. We have stuff that cannot even sell right now. There are reasons the CPW, there's reasons it would be unconscionable for a public body to take this property if it could be sold and sell it right now in the current economic market. Now, having said that, and those reasons are a lot of things that people in this room might want to express, but they are really not for this commission. Those aren't issues for this commission, and I saw the chairman of this saying, well, you're arguing things that are not for this commission. They're not for this commission, and I want to tell this group that. And they are for future board meetings, they are for future council meetings, they are for future court cases, and they are for future elections. Those issues come up at other venues. But there are some issues for this planning commission to consider. There are a couple of issues, and as the planning commission knows, you are to consider whether this proposed rezoning fits into the master plan for the community. You are to consider whether the proposed rezoning will change the character of the adjacent neighborhoods. Now, on those issues, and on the CPW proposal, I want you to keep a couple of things in mind. First, I want you to look at the proposed drawing submitted by CPW, which in itself, I think, is deceptive, because they present to you a drawing of this 55-acre tract, which has a part of it that they're proposing for rezoning. The rest of it, 30-something acres, is shown as a park. Well, CPW has voted to renege on offering even that part as a park. So it is accepted for them to say that they are putting a part on the rest of their property because they have voted to sell the whole thing. The master plan of 1999, as you know, Greenwood County, the city of Greenwood has approved the master plan. And that plan was enacted by the council. It was put together by public servants who gathered data. They considered the natural resources in the area. They considered citizen feedback on what should happen in our community. And as has been stated earlier, this piece of property is designated as green space recreation. Now, this decision was not made lightly by just a couple of people in our government. It was almost everybody in our county and city government after input from citizens. And their rezoning request is probably the most obnoxious contradiction to that community plan. Is there too much commercial property in Greenwood County? Do we have too much of this type of development? You just have to ride down the bypass and see, yes, we do. We have empty buildings, we have undeveloped property, we have plenty of places they can put